Hey guys, so today I have a game that was sent to me by weirdjokes, who's one of the really highly rated 0 AD players. It's a 2v2. So in the West, we have weirdjokes on Team 1 with a rating of 1914. And he is playing as the... are these the Macedonians? Yes, these are the Macedonians. And then in the South, on Team 2, with weirdjokes, we have Rauls, another extremely highly rated player, the rating of 1849. It's interesting. Judging by the ratings, it's not super balanced, although when you get that high into the ratings, it's kind of like a gray area, I think, whether like 100 points really means all that much. But yeah, we have Rauls in Team 2 in the cyan color. And he is playing as the Romans. In the East, we have Mortak in the orange, playing as the Britons. And his rating is 1711. In the North, we have Havran, or Havran, I never know how to pronounce it, in the red, playing as the Carthaginians. So getting right back into it, yes, we have a rush, but it looks like Mortak has managed to get his women into the Civic Center before Rauls could get any kills. And he's now sending his cav to chase away Rauls' spear cav, but they have a higher speed than the regular cav, so they're definitely not catching up there. And we have another bunch of, these are weirdjokes' cav, who are about to go in on Havran's base, but Havran is trying to counter with a smaller group of cav, but weirdjokes has decided not to take the fight. And now we have a huge bunch of cav coming from Havran who are going to massacre at least a couple of these spear cav. But again, the spear cav have a higher speed rating than the skirmisher cav, so they're not going to be able to catch up to finish any more of them off. So we've actually only gotten one kill on the part of Rauls. He got one of the cav down to almost nothing, but he only managed to take out one of them. Meanwhile, these cav haven't made their way all the way back to Rauls' base yet, and we have a counter rush being sent in by Mortak. They are sneaking around behind this mountain, which is a very smart move, although the women are all the way on the other side of the Civ Center, but if those cav can get to those women, they could feasibly do a lot of damage. Although he does have these 6 cav, but they are wounded. So let's see what happens. He's trying to get the women to safety, but these ones are completely undefended, but he did not get close enough to find out about them, and he has now turned his cav around in the opposite direction. And this has been a mostly fruitless venture from Mortak. Okay, he's continuing on towards those women, slowly supplementing the cav one by one with little groups. He now has 15 of them, and he's taking the fight. He took out one of the spear cav, and here he goes. Yeah, he has the benefit of way more numbers, so if he takes this fight, he should be able to... Okay, so smart Rauls has actually managed to kill one of the cav and garrisoned everybody else in the Civ Center. Meanwhile, we have a fight over here between weirdjokes and Havran, or an almost fight, maybe. We have Havran's skirmisher cav chasing down the spear cav of weirdjokes. And it looks like he accidentally split the group up a bit. And he's been forced to kind of take this fight, even though he does not have the numbers, it looks like. Yeah, he doesn't have the numbers at all, 14-9. So now these faster spear cav are catching up, and they are doing the damage. Doing the damage. He's gotten some of them to safety, but he has incurred a few losses. Meanwhile, we have another raid down in the south from Mortak on Rauls base. So it looks like in the southeast, Rauls has been kind of dominating and taking out a lot of, I'm sorry, in the southeast, Rauls has been dominating and taking out Mortak's Cav. Mortak has been dominating and taking out Rauls' Cav, and in the northwest, it looks like Havran's been taking more of the damage. So now we have weird jokes going in on Havran's base. Tried to steal this house, but he couldn't. He felt like he didn't quite have the numbers to do it. Now we have a gigantic group of 21 cavalry getting themselves together on Rauls' border, and they are going in. Although we do have a group of, this isn't quite enough to fend them off. Yeah? Yeah. Getting them out of the way before the pikemen could catch up, and continuing to return fire. Yeah, he's slowly but surely supplementing this group of Cav. He now has 21, and he has pulled ahead in terms of kills to 20. And in the north, Weird Jokes is attempting to move in on Havran again. But I guess not quite having the success that he'd hoped for. In terms of population, Team 1 is well and away in the lead.
Am I in it?
No. Okay, so we have a big raid going in the southwest of Rauls' base. We have 16 Cav attacking 10 skirmishers. So they'll be able to take every single one of them out, more than likely. They might lose a few of their own, but yeah, they're down to 8. And yeah, he has a lot of them at very low health, but overall he did a massive amount of damage. He's taken out 40 so far in total. Meanwhile, Rauls has taken out 30, but he's actually lost 40. And we have a confrontation between Havran and Weird Jokes has the numbers here. He has 20, and he's taking out the 10 that, he's going to take out all of these Cav before they can get away. Yeah, so that was a massive loss for Mortak. Or, I'm sorry, for Havran. And we have Team 2 have both reached Phase 2, but Team 1 are ahead in terms of population by quite a bit. Yeah, in terms of Havran's really suffering. He's only at 80 pop, and he does not have a ton of Cav either. Rauls has lost all of his Cav, so I'm assuming he's going to be working more on infantry now going forward. But we have another raid coming in, this time 22 Cav from Mortak coming into Rauls' base. Definitely got a couple kills there. Being supplemented, so now we're up to 25 Cav, but it looks like they're retreating. And we have another attempted raid by Weird Jokes into Havran's territory. but Havran had the greater number of cav in that scenario, it looks like, by just a bit, so Weird Jokes was chased away. Team 1 both still in phase 1, but okay, now Mortak has overtaken Rauls in terms of population, but Weird Jokes is still very far in the lead, up at 130. Okay, so now we have a lot of Mortak's cav crossing the map, and they're either going for Weird Jokes or, nope, it looks like they're coming from the west for kind of a sneak attack on Rauls' base. Rauls has been doing a very good job with development despite having had 44 kills. Deaths, I should say. Now 50. $56. Yeah, it's just a massacre down here. Okay, now a huge group of skirmishers popped out of the Civ Center trying to fight back, but he was able to get the majority of those cav out of there, but they've taken a lot of damage at this point, so he would do well to maybe build a temple back somewhere near the southwest of his base to try to heal up some of those cav, because it's going to take a while to heal all of those at the Civ Center. And even with the new ones that he's supplementing them with, they're still down to an average of about half to 2/3 health. Was this another raid by Weird Jokes that I missed, or is he hunting? It looks like he might just be hunting out here. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay, so now Mortak is really not messing around. He's bringing in slingers and some pikemen as well down to Rauls' base. I don't know if I quite understand the pikemen because Rauls does not have any cav left to defend with, but he is sending those pikemen in straight away. And the cav are following swiftly behind. I guess the pikemen are a good meat shield because a lot of his cav have taken a lot of damage. So the pikemen can kind of absorb damage so he doesn't lose those couple of cav. Kills galore down here. He sent this big group of skirmishers to try to help, but they are far and away outnumbered by these cav. Okay, but he had a bunch in the Civ Center, so he might actually... This might be a huge loss for Mortak. Yeah, okay, he really... I'm sorry, for Rauls. Mortak just did a lot to close the gap in terms of population. That was a big failure on the part of Mortak. I think sending all of those cav in that had all of the... Despite the pikemen, sending all those cav in that had already taken so much damage was probably not the smartest move on Mortak's part. And we have a large group of 34 cav. We also have some skirmisher cav along with the spearman cav who are about to rush Havran's base. They're trying to take over this house. I would have gone for these skirmishers because, oh, I see, it's mostly pikemen. So he could still take them, though. Well, actually, no, because they're spear cav who have to kind of, like, get up into the action to actually fight. They wouldn't really do well against these pikemen. Yeah, that was a smart move, taking them out of there, because even though he has the numbers, these pikemen would carve through those cav. Weird Jokes is now up to 209 in terms of population. He's 60 ahead Havran, who's the runner-up. Oh, he's definitely going to take out this group of... Well, he could have taken out this group of archers, but he's deciding to keep a safe distance between him and these pikemen. Definitely going to get some kills amongst the trees here. And so far, not losing any cav. But these Are these skirmisher cav? No, they're mercenary cav. So these are sword cav. So they are managing to catch up with this group of cav as they're running away, but he turned the, he put enough safe distance between the pikemen and his cav, and he turned them around and took out a few of those sword cav, and then continued running away. And I believe the spear cav still do have a speed bonus even over the sword cav, so he is doing a good job putting space between himself and Havran's troops. Now that it's just the cav who are able to catch up, he left some of his cav behind to mess them up, and he's turning them back around to escape. And he just caused so much idle time for Havran. He had to take all of these troops so far away. They circled all the way around the base just to chase him off. And luckily there was a mine right here, so he is going to be able to send them right back to work. But that was a very successful raid on the part of Weird Jokes. We do now have a temple on the border, which can be used to heal Mortak's forces. Weird Jokes is now up to 242 pop, which is almost 100 ahead of Havran, who's the runner-up. I see why Weird Jokes sent me this game, because he dominated. This time sending a group of only 36 cav, which is interesting because he has 250. He's at, oh, okay, not quite max pop. It was 300 max. But I think this late into the game, he should have sent a larger group of cav. He probably should have sent all of his cav in instead of just 35, 37 of them. Especially knowing how many pikemen Mortak has. Okay, so we've got another raid. This time only 19 cav from Mortak, and they are skirmisher cav, I believe. Yes, javelineer. I think, again, this is, at this late in the game, sending only 20 cav in is not going to be that advantageous. Now we have a group of 42 cav being sent in by Weird Jokes to Havran. And Weird Jokes not only has by far and away the highest pop, he is the first to reach phase 3. So again, he's dominating in this game. Yeah, it's interesting that it wasn't more balanced. And now we have Mortak raiding Weird Jokes, but he's not going to be able to get very much done with these 19 cav when Weird Jokes is already up to max pop almost. Even though Weird Jokes' cav are all in the north, I don't think it's going to make very much of a difference. He's gone straight for the farms. Okay, he might be able to take out a few women. But now the cav are on their way back, and these are largely spear cav, so they will be very strong against these skirmisher cav. They might be able to catch up to them, probably not. So that wasn't a hugely successful raid on the part of Mortak, who has now actually reached phase 3. And are they going to continue giving chase, or are they going to grab this hunt? Looks like they were content with, okay, no, they're continuing straight away into his territory. We have about 50 cav from Weird Jokes running straight into Mortak's territory. Not sure what they're doing. Maybe he's waiting for some reinforcements to come. Okay, he's sending them over to Havran. He now has almost 80. Let's check out the military upgrades. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. The only person who's purchased any military upgrades, I think because this has been such a cav-focused game, the only person who's managed to purchase any military upgrades at this point is weirdjokes, which is shocking this late in the game with such highly rated players. I'm very surprised. But we do have rams coming out for weirdjokes, and he's probably going to get a group of them together, but his cav are wasting no time. They were about to go in for a raid, it looks like, or I don't know if you can call it a raid this late in the game. I guess it's an attack. And they are doing some damage. Looks like they only managed to get about 1 kill there. No, they got a few. These archers are not going to, they're going to be melted like butter, but he got some pikemen up to the front line, or spearmen. And, he decided to turn his cav around and probably wait for the ram so he could do more of a full attack. And, okay, so now we have a huge contingent from Havran being sent to the front line to build a fortress. But I don't know if weirdjokes is going to allow that. He's aware of it. So I think he's decided it's time to go. He might get that fortress up. I would be surprised if they could stop it at this point. Okay, he stopped building the fortress and he sent his soldiers in to attack. He's back to building it, but weirdjokes is coming on strong. The ram has reached the fortress, so that's definitely probably not going up. So far, the ram hasn't taken any damage. And, weirdjokes' troops should be able to mow right through this. Yeah, he's definitely got the benefit of numbers by quite a bit. And now we have a lot of military upgrades all of a sudden. I don't know if weirdjokes had, 6 forges and he was able to get these all at once. That's really crazy. But all of a sudden, the military upgrades are pouring in. But they're mostly on the part of weirdjokes and Rauls, Team 1, whereas Team 2 only have 1 military upgrade each, so it should be pretty obvious where the game is swinging at this point. Although Mortak is now sending a huge battalion in to fight Rauls. However, this is a much more evenly matched fight. Rauls has about the same population, now a lot higher than Mortak, actually. So there's a good chance he's going to be able to fend this attack off. I don't know if he really has much to deal with the rams. He has 20 swordsmen, so they should be able to take out those rams before they can get too much damage done. Meanwhile, in the north, weirdjokes is... Okay, so now Havran's built some of his own rams, but they're not going to get very far because he's very much on the defensive. I'm not sure if rams were... Maybe he had already built them, but I'm not sure if at this point in the game rams are really the best decision when you're on the defense. But it looks like Rauls has very successfully repelled the attack from Mortak. He's trying to roll his rams out of there, but it seems like he would have lost this one, but it looks like Rauls called his swordsman off for some reason. He's building a storehouse because he's very low on wood at this point, so he's not going to be able to reinforce until he collects a bunch of wood. Weirdjokes made it all the way to the Civ Center, but he's turned around to capture the arsenal of Havran, and he's now taking out the last remaining ram that Havran has, and Rauls has mounted a counterattack on Mortak's base. And he's going in heavy, but Mortak does have a lot of numbers here. Mortak has about 62, whereas... Okay, so Rauls has the numbers, but they're all skirmishers, but he's backing them up with a lot of swordsmen and some pikemen. So, and it looks like Havran's base has still not fallen, but he's lost pretty much his entire population. He's down to 43. And he's taking a last stand with these cavalry. He just popped them right out of the Civ Center, and Mortak has now resigned. And I'm sure, okay, they both actually resigned. Havran resigned as well. So, let's take a look at the summary. Alright, so Team 1 had pulled very far into the lead. It wasn't really that close of a game. You can see, the only thing is Mortak was definitely the one on the offensive for the first half of the game. He was very much giving Rauls a really hard time in the south. He kept raiding him over and over again, and I think kind of a turning point was that one battle where it might have been right around here, because you can see, is that Rauls? Yeah, you can see Rauls' score jumps up, and Mortak takes a serious dip in his score, and I think that might have been the point when Mortak sent in that really big raid. But it was when he sent in a couple pikemen with the cav, but a lot of those cav were on very, very, very low health, and Rauls was able to pop a bunch of people out of the Civ Center and just take out all of his cav at that point, or nearly all of them. So, yeah, I would say Weird Jokes is definitely the MVP. He was just far and away from everyone in this game. He just got his population up really fast. He kept the heat on Havran for the whole game, or was Mortak or Havran in the north? Havran was in the north, yeah. He kept the heat on Havran, and yeah, it was a really good game. Thank you so much, Weird Jokes, for sending that to me. Shout out 0AD Newbie Rush, shout out Kate 0AD, shout out Leopard 0AD. Those are the other 0AD YouTube channels that you should definitely check out. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to, see more videos and shit.